Right, I'm testing this right now. Let's see if you can see me and hear me. I'm gonna double check on the YouTube app. Guys, let me know if you can see me, if you can hear me. All okay. Yes, no. All right, perfect. Awesome. I think everything's good. Can you hear me okay? Yes, just give me all good if you can hear me as well. Perfect. All right, guys, welcome to this live stream. I'm really excited to be doing this. This is the first time I'm doing this, by the way. I've never done this on the channel before. I can see all of your comments. Awesome. Kellen, Mario, Priyanka, Amna, Rudrak. Awesome, guys. Justus. Amazing. So let's set up some ground rules for this, first of all, before we properly get started. So just to give you a backstory, I do these for my customer community in the Reality Mastery program. We do 2 of these calls a week, and you get lifetime access to this. So this is kind of like a close mentorship with me when we do it in our customer community. But I kind of want to give you a taste of what it's like and see if I can answer any questions that you have. It's one thing watching someone's videos, another thing seeing them answer your questions. So I just kind of want to be able to give you some value here. Anything you might be struggling with, anything I can help out with. So how we're going to do this is just type your questions out, and I'm going to try my best to answer. Unfortunately, I can't unmute people here. In our customer community, I can actually unmute you and then we can talk and discuss. But here, I'm just going to, try to give me as much context as you can, as possible, to help me understand better. Just don't type like, vague questions like, oh, how do you identity shift, But yeah, give me as much context as possible so that I can have something to work with. And also, please don't spam with questions. It's not respectful to others. I'm just looking at the comments right now. So there have been some comments before I even came on the live. I think you could add comments there. All right. Are you Muslim? Do you mind sharing your religion and beliefs? I'm Muslim by birth, but I'm not a strict follower of the religion. Like, I don't pray 5 times a day. Yeah. Yeah, don't ask questions like trying to find the solutions for problems in life. Like, tell me what problems you have. Like, tell me what you're struggling with. Give me some context. I'll be able to help. Hello, Quazi. Can I listen to the subliminals? Oh, I can do this. All right. I feel like I have negative energy. I'm depressed and anxious all the time. How do I switch to positive energy? I don't want to attract negative things. I actually made a video on this. If you find like how to prevent negative thoughts from manifesting. But the key principle is, if you feel negative, just allow that negativity to be. Whatever you feel, just let that be. Because the more you try to resist it, it's kind of like you're funneling energy into it. The more you try to push it down, the stronger it gets. It feeds off the energy of you pushing down. So there's no point trying to switch and trying to force yourself to be positive. That in turn creates even more negativity through suppression and repression. If you don't feel good today, acknowledge that. Allow yourself to not feel good today. I feel depressed today. Cool. Can I allow myself to feel depressed? Can I allow myself to feel this anxiety? Can I allow myself to feel this fear? And then the energy behind it dissipates, because now you're no longer resisting it. So you can't just force yourself to feel good all the time. Contrary to popular belief, if you try to shake it out, or like jump around and do something, what's going to happen is the energy of negativity is just going to get suppressed, right? And it's going to come up in different areas of your life. One day you're going to have a panic attack. I've had those. They don't serve you. Hope that answers your question. How do you stop problem solving in your head 24/7? Like coming up with new ideas every few days. Why do you want to stop that? How to go into sale when you're super introvert and having a hard time, but it's my true passion. Well, in terms of sales, like most people, the mistake they make is they're trying to get an outcome out of it, right? You're trying to get the sale. But if your focus is on trying to get the outcome, you're going to optimize for the wrong things. You're going to try to control the sale. So instead of doing that, shift your focus from I need to get something to let's see if I can help this person in the first place. Let's see if what I have to offer is actually going to help this person. If you switch from trying to get something to understanding, so your focal point goes from I need to get the yes to I want to understand. I just want to understand this customer. Let's see if I can fully understand this customer. And just being in the present moment, it's going to flow naturally as opposed to trying to think of the next thing to say. Hope that answers your question. How do you find your blind spots as to what is holding you back from making more money? It's a great question. The same way you find out any blind spots, you begin with the symptoms that you are seeing, right? It's kind of like you're diagnosing something. You're like a doctor. You begin with the symptoms and you see that you have the cough, you have the sneezes, and then you trace it back. When does the cough and the sneeze happen? Where does this arise from? So, in the sense of your money blocks, let's say, whenever you have thoughts around money, whenever you have thoughts around your business, when do they come up? So to give you an example, when you think about getting new customers, maybe you have this fear come up, and then you start to investigate the fear. What other times do you experience this fear? What other times in your life do you experience this fear? Now you can correlate this fear to something like, oh, this event is becoming the trigger. Whenever I think about getting new customers, whenever I think about pitching my services, this fear comes up. So now you can sort of make some conclusions about where this fear is arising from. But even apart from that, it's great to get an understanding of it, but it's even better to just surrender it. So whatever fear comes up, instead of trying to push it down and just doing it anyways, you sit with that fear and you let it be. Right? I also made a video on that in the channel. If you search surrender Quazi, you'll probably find it. Hope that answers your question. But in general, just be with those feelings, ponder around them, ask questions around them. Don't be afraid to go deeper into them as opposed to just being on the surface of them. Can you give a detailed tutorial for instant manifestation? No, I can't, because I don't believe in that. Damn, it's getting really messy right now. So I'm going to try to answer the questions that'll be the most relevant for everyone, that'll be beneficial for everyone, not just like the ones that I like. Well, probably those are the ones that I like. Priyanka says, hello Quazi, how do you find your purpose without being influenced by your surroundings? Well, I'm going to make assumptions by what you mean by this. So for example, maybe you want to go a certain path in life, but you find that your parents are like not approving of it, right? So in that way, your surroundings can affect you. So you've really got to make a decision here. Your decision can either be, well, am I going to persist with this and stay true in my conviction, or am I going to settle for something and live the rest of my life in regret? Right? It's like there's a book. It's called The Everything Store, where Jeff Bezos talks about his story and why he went from Wall Street to starting up his own business in Amazon. And he said, well, I looked at my life and I was like, well, what could the next 20 years look like? I could probably retire from Wall Street, or I could work on building something really great and actually, achieve something awesome instead of just rotting here. So when you have that kind of choice, it becomes really, really obvious. Would you rather live your life in regret and 10 years from now look back at your life and be like, oh, I should have done this, or just try something and fail anyways and get shat on by other people, right? So there's a lot to this, but I'm giving you the answer that's kind of helped me in my personal life make the decision to do YouTube, start up my own business, and not go for an engineering job. Hope that helps. I'm starting my own business, but I'm still working for a company. Do you suggest I put my full energy into my business or wait until I can leave my current job for finance reasons? There's no one answer that's going to serve everyone, right? Like, you can, like, your path is unique to you. You've got to do what's right for you. You're going to find at one point probably that you need to now put in more energy into your business. For example, if you are comfortable with taking the leap, even though you have no savings, and you just take the leap on your business, go ahead and do it. If you feel deep in your heart that that's the right thing to do, go ahead and do it. But if you do make that decision, fully trust it. That'll probably be the fastest way for you to get to success, right? Never look back. We've had so many people do that. People like Tia, she quit a really comfy 100 grand a year job to start up a business that was making no money. And she was in crazy amounts of debt. You can even see the interview that I did with her. If you search Tia interview, you'll find it on the channel. But she did that. But she had full faith. Every single step she took, took it in full faith. Some people can't do that. Some people need a more rational, safety net. They need the kind of backings of savings. So maybe you can work until you have 6 months worth of savings for things that cover your living expenses. And then you can work on your business, right? So always do things from that place of being of, I've already achieved what I want. I'm already that version of myself that I want to be. What would this person do every single day? What kind of decisions would this person make? Because you're kind of paving the pathway, right? You're paving the pathway of, I needed to work on my full-time job and the business, so I can funnel money from there to the business and support myself. But more and more of your attention goes to the business every single day. So you've got to create your own hero's journey, get clarity around your life and what you want. This is why we extensively work on getting clear on who you need to become and what you actually want for your life in the business. Clarity is number one. Hope that answers your question. Hello, Quazi. What do you eat in a whole day? Nice picture, by the way. Looking ripped. I try to eat as much as I can because I'm trying to gain weight, but it doesn't usually happen. Because I'm just focused on working, sometimes I just forget to eat. I don't feel hungry. I don't know. I need to eat 2,800 to 3,000 calories just to maintain my weight. It's that ridiculous. But I'll begin the morning usually I'll have a very 1,000 calorie shake, a vegan gainer shake that I got from one of the personal trainers I worked with, a performance coach that I worked with. Then for lunchtime, I'll try to have another 1,000 calories. Maybe I'll have omelets or something. And at dinner time, so I have 3 meals a day now. I switched back to 3 meals a day because on intermittent fasting and doing 2 meals, I was losing too much weight. Dinner, I'll have another 1,000 calories. So chicken, beef, whatever. I try to avoid beef and red meat in general because it just makes me slower. But I try to get as much calories as I can and also meet my macros like protein, fat, carbs. I'm usually eating a lot of fat because I have ghee as well. I think I talk about this on the channel and the benefits of having clarified butter and ghee. Awesome Chemical Kid, welcome to this live. Hi Quazi, starting a business. Hi Quazi, starting a business. What is the one skill that you need to master in order to get the furthest? Thank you for taking your time. The one skill you need to master is getting comfortable in the face of discomfort. Getting comfortable not knowing what's coming next, because you just don't know what happens next. When people, like Jeff Bezos or look at these big business people, they don't even hesitate now. They just invest in different places and they're like, one of these is going to do well. It's all about probabilities, right? Like you've got to put different seeds in different places. Not all of those seeds are going to flower, but you have to be comfortable making those, planting those seeds, whether this be investing in programs, whether this be pumping money in ads. But you have to understand that whatever you do, you have to have a great attitude about it, because whatever meaning you put onto it, subsequently the lifelines will unfold. If you put a bad meaning on it, then negative things are going to keep happening. You're going to end up in a negative feedback loop. But if something fails and you learn to look at it as positive, like, oh, I just spent this much money on ads. Well, at least I have data now to improve on for future, right? So the one skill that you need to master is getting comfortable in the face of discomfort, making those uncomfortable investments, spending your time in things that might not even give you anything for a very, very long time, and having a great attitude. If you just have a great attitude in any area of your life, it's going to serve you. How do you stay consistent? I feel focused and awake for a season, then the old toxic me tries to stay alive. I'm human, right? I don't. I have downs too, but it's just I don't give too much attention to it. I don't pay that much attention to it. Whatever wants to be there, I just let it be. If I'm feeling negative today, I feel like shit today, I'll let myself feel like shit, but I'll continue on doing what I need to do. And what's happened is over time, I feel less and less like shit. Like, I went from being 50% consistent to 60%, 70%, 80%, 90%. But I'm not afraid to just, take a day off and just do something completely left field. So you've got to do things like that. You hold on to this idea of consistency, and what happens is you put too much meaning on this idea of consistency. You're like, oh, I have to be this or else I'm going to fail. You don't. Learn to have fun with it, because if you're not having fun takes precedence over consistency or anything. If you run a business and you don't have fun, you're going to burn yourself down to the ground. Your business should be fun. When you start to lose the joy and fun in your business, it's time to start rethinking a lot of things. You're doing something wrong, basically. Guys, please don't repeatedly ask questions, the same ones. I already answered them. Now I can see them again. It gets really lost. Yeah, like I'm seeing someone ask me what I eat in a whole day over and over again. So now I have to skip a lot of things. How do you deal with negative comments? If you notice, I never answer negative comments, or I'll just humorously answer them. Because if you feed the negative comments, you're playing the pendulum's game. If you play the game, you're giving it energy. So if I have a negative comment, I'll either just completely ignore it, or I'll just have like a funny twist to it. I think someone commented how tight my shirt was in the last video. I actually found that really funny, and I totally agree with it. How can you tell if what you want is a result of societal pressure or it's from your heart? How can you not tell? Like, if someone's societally pressuring you, you'll feel pressure from people around you saying, like, oh, this isn't the right thing to do. You shouldn't be doing this. You shouldn't be doing that. Whenever people tell you this is not the right thing to do, never listen. Unless it's people who are your mentors. Even then, don't listen. You've got to find your own way. You've got to come to your own conclusions, because you've got to make the mistakes to know that this isn't the right thing to do. Or you can learn from someone else's mistakes, right? But at the end of the day, what really matters is if you have a good meaning on it. Even if you put a great meaning on it and have a great outlook and an attitude to it, the mirror of life will reflect this great attitude. The actions are really irrelevant at the end of the day. The right thing will just show up for you. To give you an example, I kept doing ads. I kept doing so many things, trying so many tactics. And one day, one of my YouTube videos blew up, and that got me a lot of traffic on the channel. And then I started getting clients. Why did that happen? Because I was consistent and I had a great attitude in everything that I did, right? So you never know how it's going to happen. Stay persistent, try your best, have a great attitude. Attitude is number one. Mindset and attitude is always the foundation. It's like like I like to say, the backstage actors. They never get credit. The backstage people, they never get credit, but they're the ones that actually, produce the results. But people always look at the immediate action that comes before the results show up, which is the action and not mindset. How do you discern between feelings of fear and discomfort and your heart saying no? You're just going to know, right? It's like, oh, I know I need to do this. I need to do this to move forward, but it's so uncomfortable. But I know if I did this, I'd feel really good. Like when it's something like, if I know that if I actually do this, I'm going to come out of it and grow. If you feel like that, that's discomfort. If you feel that, oh, you know what, I shouldn't do this. This just doesn't feel right. So I'm going to give you an example. It's like, let's say you're thinking about doing public speaking or something. Let's say you're thinking about doing this live, right? My meaning is, let's say before doing this live, I feel like, oh, I don't want to do this. I really don't want to do this, but I know that if I do this, I'm going to grow a little bit. I actually kind of want to do this, but I feel uncomfortable doing it. In that case, that's just shyness and you being in the comfort zone for a very long time. That's why you can't expand it. So I'll go ahead and do that. If I feel that way about something, I'll do it. But if it's something that's like, oh, you should steal money from this person, I won't feel good about it. Like, I won't feel like I did something good afterwards. You know what I mean? Because it's like, why would I want to do that? No, that's like the wrong way to go. You know, so that's basically the difference. What's the best way to get rid of negative limiting beliefs? Every single belief eventually becomes limiting. Because let's say you want to make 10 grand a month, right? And then you make 10 grand a month, but now you want to make 20 grand a month. Your beliefs that led you to making 10 grand a month are now a limiting belief. Okay? The identity that you're holding on to right now that's making 10K a month, that's the limitation. Because now you can't do what's needed, the risks that you need to take, because you're holding on to this 10K a month. So every single belief will eventually become limiting. The way you get rid of them is by investigating them and becoming more flexible yourself, doing things that are uncomfortable, doing things that are out of your comfort zone. So this is how we help people in the program get out of a rigid identity that they've crafted over years and years by beginning to do little uncomfortable things every single day and then recontextualizing them the right way. And when you do that, you start to sort of get into the winner effect over and over, and then it starts to align with that vision that you created once you define your character and your dream and what you want. It's in alignment with that, and therefore it ultimately paves that path and leads you to that ultimate goal that you defined. Okay, I hope that answers the question. How do you stop running from one business idea to another one? Realize that no new tactic, no new ad strategy, no new business idea is going to solve the core issue. The core issue is the thing you've got to find. The core issue is the same issue that reflects out in every single business attempt that you try. So this is going to happen. You're going to try one business idea. It's going to gain some traction, but you're never going to get longer term reward from it. Then you're going to try another one and maybe you get some traction, but you don't really get what you want. You've got to investigate like deep down what's going on. Maybe it's the market. Maybe it's the business opportunity. Maybe there's not enough demand for it. Maybe it's you. It always begins with you, but you won't immediately want to see that. It's so difficult to admit that. But it becomes clearer and clearer, right? So it's not like your mindset problems reflect out in business problems. So you're going to see business problems happening here, business problems happening there, too much attachment here, getting too attached and controlling the outcome there. But really it's a manifestation of some internal issue. Once you begin to investigate that and at the same time work on the action, the mind gets on board. But so does the heart, because the mind wants to see you fix something and do something to fix it. But the heart knows that, it's just a lack of maybe alignment on the right thing, or just putting too much attachment, too much meaning on something else, or some other inner blockage that you have that needs to be surrendered. Guys, please let me know if the answers I'm giving you are beneficial, okay? I could just be talking a lot of shit. Let me know if this is helpful. And if you want me to clear up anything. Hi Quazi, you're my favorite manifestation coach. My question is, were you recently in San Diego? Yes, we were, but it wasn't recent. It was like, it was last year in like August or something. Yeah, we went to San Diego, but I don't think we went hiking in San Diego. I'm not sure. I can't remember. It was a while ago. It was back in August of 2019. What is your opinion on Neville Goddard's claim that consciousness is the only reality and that your imagination creates reality? Anything that you see around you is an imagination. This is all imagined. None of this is real. How do you know that? Well, look at it. It's changing. It can't be real. Reality is something that never changes. So you're thinking that this is real because your definition, like you're trying to hold on to it, right? This is why we get attached to things. We think it's real. So we try to like grasp onto it because we think it'll never change. But the sooner we start to see that, wait a second, this is an illusion. If this is constantly changing, it can't be real. Only illusions change. So therefore, there must be something beyond that. So yeah, Neville was right. If you use your imagination, you're going to create your reality. If you can learn to control your mind the right way and direct your thoughts the right way, you're going to create what you want. You're going to shape this illusion and this non-reality in the way that you would like to see. You can learn to just play with it, right? That's just a form. But a lot of like spiritual people, they're not concerned with that anymore. They're concerned with finding reality, true, pure awareness, that which is beyond, this material reality. But sometimes if you want to achieve your goals, if you want to get to that stage, you have to first see through the illusion. The only way that happens is once you keep achieving goal after goal after goal, and then you start to see, wait a second, this isn't what I thought it would be. And then the illusion starts to break one after the other. What exactly do I get if I buy into the Reality Mastery program? So it's basically very, very close mentorship with me. Honestly, you'd have to schedule a call, right? It's really dependent on individual client needs, but we have the coaching program, the online program, worksheets, everything, a very, very detailed, comprehensive system. Then you have the community, the Facebook community that we have. It's awesome. I'll show you it actually. I'm going to try to pull it up. Let me know if you can see my screen. We have an awesome customer community. We have 400 members now. Everyone's supporting each other. Everyone's sharing their findings, and you don't even need to ask a question. You'll just look at it here. If you can search something here, you'll find the answers to your question. But this is a close mentorship with me. And then we have the 2 weekly coaching calls every Tuesday and Saturdays. So they're at Tuesdays 5 p.m., Saturdays 12 p.m. Eastern, and they're with me personally. Right? They can go as long as they want or little as they want. You talk to me, we talk to each other, and then basically I get to keep you accountable. How do I turn that off? Right. Yeah, but I would definitely recommend scheduling a call with one of our coaches to find out more about your situation if we can actually help you. It's really not for everyone, right? If it's a good fit, then we make the offer. Otherwise, no. Okay, this guy keeps asking this question. Can you tell us in detail how we can manifest from the heart? I don't know what you mean by that. Like, where does manifestation come from, if not from the heart? But if I think I understand what you mean, it's just aligning yourself both intellectually and emotionally. Because intellectually, you know that it's the right thing to do to get a 9 to 5, but your heart's like, oh, that's so boring. I don't want that. I want something interesting and something fun that makes life adventurous. That's when you know that this isn't the right path, right? So you've got to get aligned and clear on what you actually want and go to that path, what your goal is. If you want to be a famous musician, an artist, if you want to be a great business person, if you want to like have people look up to you and be, a great, kind of like a Mother Teresa and do a lot of charity work, you've got to find out what you want, what really your heart resonates with. I'm 23. Once I've identity shifted, how can I continually rest in that reality? There's no easy answer to this. It's not like one thing that you do, but it's a constant realization that you just are. You know, like you don't question things that you have, right? Like you don't question the kind of luxuries that you have right now, yet you're resting in it. It's like you allow yourself to have it. You don't feed those doubts anymore, like, oh, what if this goes away? This is what happens when people shift into a new identity. They start to feel like an imposter at first, once they have like a lot of stuff. And when they feel like an imposter, they'll inevitably self-sabotage, right? This is why people like make a lot of money, but then they lose it. Like they'll get to 50, 60, 70, 80K months. We've had people in the program get to 80K months, but then go bankrupt. Why? It's because they didn't feel like they were worthy of it. You know, they didn't act. They didn't have that realization. Wait a second. This is me. I can totally allow myself to have this. Whenever good things happen, they always question it. Like, oh, what's the payoff here? What do I have to, what do I have to give in order to get this? They don't allow themselves to just, be. Oh, good things are happening. Good things do happen. Yeah, that's completely natural. Hope that answers the question. Yeah, everything's getting lost now. I'm seeing the same questions over and over again. Hi, could you elaborate on the question about negative feelings? If you let the negative feeling be, how do you know how to not let it take you over? Let it take you over. Don't even resist that. What's the problem? Let it take you over. Let it run its course. You're not really letting it be. Like, if you want to truly let go of something, just let whatever is happening happen. Whatever happens, the worst case scenario that comes up in your mind, let it play out. Because that's the only way it'll go away. The more you try to intervene with it, the more you can just make it worse. Once you realize that, wait a second, my intervention can only make it worse. The only choice left then is to just completely let it be. Like, oh, you know what? Just don't mess with it. Just let it be. How do you stay detached to your outcome while making sure it's not apathy, i.e. enjoying the process? Again, this comes to clarity. What do you want? What does life look like once what you think will get you there has been achieved? AKA what process you think. Because you think that, oh, if I want the beautiful mansion, the beautiful house, the beautiful cars, and all of that, living my dream life, I need to do some business, I need to make this amount of money. Those are all the processes. The amount of money, the business opportunity, business venture, they're all the processes. Focus on what it is, what life looks like after it's been achieved, after that milestone, winning the lottery, hitting that business milestone, whatever it is, has been achieved. That way you'll not get into apathy, right? You'll always be fulfilled and driven by the vision. This is why I tell our clients, like, don't focus on purpose at first. Focus on the vision. I don't think about, oh, this is my purpose. I don't wake up every day and remind myself this is my purpose, because it can change, right? I'm open to whatever. I'm moved by the vision. And even the vision itself gets clearer and clearer, right? So how you detach your outcome is just by accepting that, you know what, the outcome could not happen. It could just go a completely different way. So this is what I call allowing. Whatever's happening right now, whatever it appears to be, allow it to happen. You've got to have the attitude, like the unwavering attitude of, even if I die and reincarnate and come back, I'm still going to get to it. Somehow it's going to happen. If it's not today, if it's not tomorrow, if it's not a year from now, that's okay. I'm willing to wait. It's fine. I hope that answers your question. Clarity is a lifelong process, but it begins with you defining the boundaries, so sort of conditions of what you want, of what life looks like. And then you sort of go within and ask that inner voice, is this what I want? Does this feel good? Being in this stage, does this feel good? Looking at that vision, maybe 5-10 years from now, what do you want your life to look like? Have you ever asked yourself that question? What does life look like 5-10 years from now? What do I want? You don't have to be attached to it. Again, you could be open to letting it unfold. But once you define that, then you take that first step that you think you need to take. What's the first step that comes up? Oh, let me try this. Let me just try taking a cold shower. Let me just read a book a week. Let me just try to start up this business or whatever it is, and then you kind of, the process between this first step and that ultimate goal, the vision that you have, is coordination, coordinating through it, putting a great meaning on everything, accepting and allowing everything, not interrupting. Because what we try to do is, anytime things don't happen, we try to directly mold it by action instead of forming the reflection in the mirror with our attitudes. We try to move this mirror. We try to hold the mirror and try to move it. No, I want it like this, and I want this to look like that. Instead of doing that, present the right image to it through your thoughts, through your emotions, through your attitudes. I want to be able to engage and socialize with women, but I feel like at this stage in my life, I can waste a lot of time if I don't focus everything into my business. How do you find that balance? Dude, you've got to just go for what you want. Don't overthink it. If you want to engage with and socialize with women, go ahead and do it. Do it and see if it distracts you. But don't hold a prejudgment, because you could still socialize with women and still be able to build your business. There are certain limiting beliefs behind that. It's like you have an intention, right? Your intention is, I want a great partner and to meet women, but I also want a successful business. Why can't you have both? You're thinking in your mind that you can't have both. Find that balance for yourself. I can't tell you what the balance is. It's your life. You've just got to go in and see, experiment. Okay, maybe on the weekends I go out and meet women. Maybe, I work from this hour to that hour. That's my work hours. And I really focus. Contrary to popular belief, you don't have to work 12, 14, 24 hours a day. I know I don't get anything done if I try to work more than what what I can focus, because I have that self-awareness to see, wait, if I work this many hours, I can get what I need to get done. Because I don't just believe that, me manually doing something is going to just get me the results. I know that it's going to happen anyways. The work is just part of the illusion. It just seems like I got to do this, but it's somehow just happening all spontaneously. Yeah, I hope that answers your question. How often and at what time do you usually visualize? How do you determine the content of that specific visualization? Dude, I just visualize what I want. I look at maybe my goals, let's say getting to that 300K a month. I'm like, this is nice. What would life look like if I got to that? Awesome. I have a great team. Everything is taken care of. Everything's flowing naturally. Clients are getting awesome results. People are just coming in. That's one particular picture, right? That's one particular visualization. There are other different frames and slides of that visualization. The other one could be, maybe I'm on a trip with my wife. Then I check my Stripe account. Oh, look, 300 grand a month. Goal's been achieved. Maybe another one, I'm in a car with my wife. I'm like, remember that time I was struggling and I was overthinking this? Remember the internal battles that I had, oh God, we made it now. Right? So there are different frames. You've just got to refresh the creative. You can't keep going to the same one over and over again, but you can keep coming back to it. There are different frames of it. It's good if you can, but it doesn't evoke the same emotion every single time. But if you just be with it, just keep rotating around it, I found that to be personally effective. How often and what time do you usually visualize? I do it in the morning, usually. In the program, we do this thing called the Self-Mastery Guide. It's kind of like a vision board, but it's like much more detailed. That's like one of the powerful tools that we use. So that first thing in the morning, last thing before bed, that I found to be effective. And anytime you feel like throughout the day, it doesn't have to be like a routine thing, like, I must do this. Whenever you feel like you must do this, don't do it. How do you carry the effects of your meditation into the rest of your day? I don't try to hold on to it. If it happens naturally, I let it. That's part of my meditation. So in yoga, there's this thing called sadhana. What the thing that you practice majority of the time. What is your sadhana? Your spiritual cocktail, like your spiritual recipe, right? So for some people, it's like chanting some name. For other people, it's meditating 20 minutes a day. For other people, it's doing their daily yoga. What's your sadhana? You've got to figure out what's really working for you. My meditation for the rest of the day is just letting things be, accepting them as they come, and inquiring. Inquiring into the true nature of, and actually just realizing that, wait a second, this is changing. It's an illusion. Then you wake up. So waking up throughout the day. But yeah, that meditation that I do in the morning for 20 minutes, I just do it to get into the hang of getting to more deeper and deeper state. But as you keep doing it, it begins with meditation, right? Like you'll begin doing like a lot of different things, like a lot of different yogas, a lot of different things, but then you start to get into the true nature of it, which is just awareness. The thing that's behind everything. And then you start to like get more and more used to it as you get deeper and deeper into your meditation, as you evolve more and more. It just naturally carries itself. How do you manage your emotional state throughout the day to stay in alignment with the version of yourself you're shifting into? Here's the thing about mindset. If you keep overthinking it, it's I think someone even mentioned that as a comment, and I couldn't agree with it more. It's a double-edged sword. The more you think about mindset, the more you're like, it's like the Fight Club. Don't talk about it. Don't think about it. You don't think about mindset. You are it. The more you think about it, the more you start to doubt yourself and cause confusion. I had to learn this the hard way. Like after years and years of just thinking about, oh yeah, affirmations, I got to do this. Or if I don't do this, you just become real OCD with it, But the real mindset is you just are. And then anything that flows from that place of being, you let it be. You allow it. So I manage my emotional state, whatever comes up. I just allow it to be. And I shift my focus to what I want. Fear, pain, anxiety. Oh, what's this that's coming up? Can I let it be? Can I allow it to just be? Can I welcome it? Yeah, I can. Okay. Let it be there. It feels really uncomfortable. I feel anxious. Why is this happening? When is this other time this has happened? Interesting. Can I allow that to be? Yeah, I can. Simple. You just you just ask questions around it. It's like you have this problem, you ask questions around it. You ask until you destroy this bubble. Would love it if you did a video shutting the ideas of red pill mindset. I don't even know what red pill is, dude. I don't know what that means. A lot of people talk about it. Like a lot of people making videos about it. I have no idea what that is. I sit down every single morning. Right after I wake up, I take a cold shower. I sit down for 20 minutes and I just sit there. That's it. I just sit there and like watch the thoughts. I don't listen to any music or anything. Just complete silence. Yeah, and then I like observe the thoughts and inquire behind the thoughts, because the thoughts are changing, but then there's this like thing that's constant behind the thoughts, and that is the watching. So if you look at it, it's the same thing that always was, even back when you were 4 years old, 5 years old, 6 years old, 15, 20, up until you're now. It's that same thing that was watching and observing. The body might have changed, the content of the thoughts might have changed, but the context has always been the same. So getting more and more to that context. Okay, this thought is coming up. This too is being observed. This too is. I am. I exist. This is watching. There is watching. There is seeing. It's not I am watching and I am thinking. There is. Look, there is thought. There is thought that is being observed. That's what I do for 20 minutes. And that's what I try to do throughout the day as well. How does your old employee mindset come to haunt you? Figure that out first. When does it come up? What kind of feelings come up? Are you okay with that employee mentality? Are you okay with letting that be there? It doesn't matter. Just ask yourself the question. You might not be okay with it at first, but over time, you resist it less and less. But whenever it comes up, how does it come up? Identify that. Am I willing to let that be there? Am I willing to let it go? When? That's how the process of surrender begins, with acknowledgement. You acknowledge it first. You acknowledge it and you try to go deeper and deeper into it. The same way you overcome any other fear. Same way. You surrender it. Oh, maybe these clients won't get results. Maybe they won't. That's a reality. That's a possibility. You can't make everyone happy. You can't. Can you be okay with that? Can I be okay with that? Yes? Let it go. Do you still have autopilot addictions and compulsions? If you do, how do you approach it and improve it? If I knew what they were, I would have improved it, but lately I've just been more concerned with letting them be. Whatever compulsions there are. If you look at Sri Nisargadatta Maharaj, the book that I recommend on the channel, I Am That, he smoked cigarettes. He's like this great guru. He smokes cigarettes. And someone asked, well, why do you smoke cigarettes? It's like, it's just this old compulsion of the body that just stayed. I'm not concerned with it. He's beyond that. Dude is beyond that, So it doesn't really matter as long as it's not causing you harm. I mean, for him, the cigarette smoking was probably causing him harm, but he just didn't care about the body. He got to a point where he just didn't care about the body. He wasn't even concerned with it. But it's the same way you overcome any addiction and compulsion. You bring it into awareness first, and then you focus on what you would want, and then you strive towards that. What's your opinion on the vaccine in December 21st? Have you noticed how I don't like to talk about controversial topics? There's a reason for that. It's just a pendulum. Like everyone has an opinion. It's the cheapest commodity available. But I think it's just a natural part. I don't really believe in, like, what's the word? Controversial, controversy, what theory is it? I forget the word. But I don't believe in those like theories. Like everything's happening, the world is perfect, everything's happening as according to like nature. There are patterns, sure. If you understand patterns, you're going to be rich, right? That's what the stock market is literally about. That's what business is really about. If you can predict something before anyone else predicts it, if you have information about something before anyone else has it, you're going to be rich. Sure, there are patterns, but like believing in those theories, they just build paranoia, nothing else. They don't serve you. But there's always a universal balance, and everything is happening to restore balance every single time. The universe is always in perfect balance. How do you deal with the stress and pressure of entrepreneurship? The same way you deal with the stress and pressure of anything. If it's entrepreneurship you want to pursue for the rest of your life, you make sure that it's fun. You better make sure that it's fun. Or else you're fucked. Because it's like just doing a job that you don't like. You know, like what's the point? It's like if I were to go, stock trading full time, I'd probably get stressed out a lot because it's not something I'm passionate about. I realized that when I tried it. Drop shipping, I'm not really passionate about that. Maybe I could be if I gave it a better try, but I know that this is something that I want to do. At least for the next 5, 10, 20 years, right? Maybe it could change. I'm even open to that. But yeah, you just figure out what it is that's causing your stress and pressure. And I'm not talking externally. Look internally what's going on. Where are you putting too much meaning? Because that's usually what happens. You put too much meaning on something. You have to get some particular outcome. You have to accomplish something. And that gets out of control. No. If I put a positive meaning on something in my life that is bad, don't I just attract more of the bad? No, you don't. Because when you put a positive meaning on something, you go to positive lifelines. The nature of your lifeline changes to more positive stuff. And you can't be sincere about like the other way, vice versa. You can't be sincere about hating money. You could say, oh yeah, what if I hate money? Won't I get more of it? No, because you can't sincerely hate money or sincerely hate good things. If you can sincerely do it, then you probably will get more money. Conspiracy theories, that's what it was. See, I don't even know the word. Then deal with that fear. Surrender that fear. I'm not really wise. I just don't accept the norm. Like I like to really think about things and break them down. I think it helped that I was in engineering, but also as a child, I was just curious. I like to look at things like, why is this way? Why is this thing this way? Why can't it be another way? I think my parents reminded me the other day, they were like, yeah, when you're a child, you'd question everything. So that's what I would ask you to do. Question everything. Arrive at your own conclusions. Don't take anything at face value. Reason from first principles. I think that's what Elon Musk recommends too. How did you improve your Oura Ring sleep score and overall sleep? I work with a performance coach. So if you guys don't know what an Oura Ring is, it's this thing entrepreneurs. It's become a huge fad amongst entrepreneurs in the online community. It measures your sleep scores and everything, and your readiness scores. So I work with a performance coach. He showed me some hacks, but what really helped me, I would say the one biggest thing that helped me was having consistent sleep schedule, like always going to bed at the same time and waking up at the same time. And the other thing that helped me was eating at the right time before bed, like at least 4 hours before bed, if not at least 3 hours before bed, and not eating shitty food. Because if you fuck that up, everything else is going to get fucked up. If you fuck up your eating schedule and you eat too late, you're going to go to bed too late. And then you're going to wake up at probably at the same time or later. And then that's going to fuck you up for the night after. So get your eating right, your diet, and your sleep routine. No, surrender is not to stop caring. Surrender is to let whatever is be. Becoming vulnerable to it. Like, hey, here I am. It's kind of like in, I don't know, let's say maybe women will understand this. It's like when women meet a man and the man's not trying to put up a front, like, oh, look at me, I'm this. I'm alpha. Or some other front. But they're just like, hey, I'm me. Nice to meet you. Just me. Not holding anything back. Just being vulnerable, you know? Even in sales, like when you meet someone who's trying to sell you something, who's always pitching, it's just like, oh, come on. You're so annoying. Come on. Like, don't you see what's going on? Like, I don't want to buy. And they don't understand it. They just keep pitching away. So it's just like having a genuine conversation with someone, being vulnerable. So being vulnerable to your goals, like, hey, look, you know what? I do feel upset. I am holding on to it, but am I willing to accept that? That's what surrender means. You embrace the doubts. Same thing. Like, this is what the principle of surrender is. Whatever it is, you just embrace it completely. Like, yeah, you know what? I don't know if this is going to work. I really didn't know if I was going to have a successful business. I just had faith. I was like, you know what? Somehow it's going to happen. I'm going to do it. I don't care. I'll get rich or I'll die trying. That's what my attitude was. So if you get confused about the future and you have these doubts, embrace it. You know what? Maybe this path might not work. Because this is your mind trying to grasp onto something. But your heart is infinitely more powerful. It's going to find a way to make it happen if you just trust. Your mind just needs to be open. Okay, you just need to be open to the possibility of some other idea or something else showing up at the right time. This is why I talk about being comfortable in the face of discomfort, being okay with unknown. That's the number one thing with entrepreneurship. You could have, if you have the kind of attitude of, if I have 8 failed businesses and the 9th one becomes a success, I'm okay with that. I'll still keep going. I'll still keep trying. I'll never stop trying, because that's all you can do at the end of the day, right? I'll take 3 more questions. How do you find a business idea or niche that you have fun with? I'm always uncertain of what's the right choice. Well, you know what you have fun with, and you know what you don't have fun with. But then you start to think about money. You're like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to make money from this. Forget that. Forget if you're going to make money or not. If you wanted to make money, just go get a job. Like, it begins as a hobby. Like, my channel began as a hobby. It was like, oh, this is fun. I like it. I like giving value to people. I like sharing my findings. I like talking about this stuff. And then it evolved into like a business. But sometimes, throughout this journey, I've become too like, oh no, I got to do this and I got to do that. I got to achieve my goals. I made promises to people, blah, blah, blah. But then I just let go of that. Like, oh, wait a second. Why do I need to do that? Why is that so important? Is it really that important? And then the importance bubble bursts. So the reason why you're uncertain is because you're either placing something on a pedestal, like a particular condition, like, this needs to happen with this, or that needs to happen with that. Just let go and have fun with it. Just give people value. Work with people for free. Get some testimonials. My wife recently became a parent coach, and she was like super doubtful at first. She was like, I don't even have kids. How can I be a parent coach? But she's so passionate about it. She makes videos about it. She researches on it. She talks to people. She got a few free clients first. Signed her first few clients at like $1,000. Real easy. I'll take 2 more questions. To visualize the vision fulfilled right now, do the actions come along the way, or we have to work on the actions leading to the fulfillment of the vision? I'm going to answer that the way I understand it, but this is a phenomenon I like to call 1 step, 2 steps. You visualize, and then you act on what you know now. And as you keep visualizing and you keep acting, new information becomes available to you. It's like you keep pondering on an idea, and then you're sleeping, and next day you take a shower, and all of a sudden the idea comes to you in the shower. But then, you never want to act like, because what happens is business people take this the wrong way. It's like different advice for different people. Like when you're starting off a business, you got to act. You got to be like, all right, take action. But when you're like already having a very established business, then it's like, you got to stop acting so quick. You've got to start thinking more. Like you've got to understand what stage you're at and what advice applies to you. You'll know. You'll feel it. But the point I was trying to make is you're going to have these ideas that come to you from the void. Like your subconscious just gets, wait a second. This is what I need to do. It was right under my nose this whole time. And this happens because your complete like life energy was aligned in that direction, right? It's like you're completely focused on this goal. But what happens is it's a process of focusing and defocusing. When you sleep, you defocus. You just let go of it for 1 second. And when you do, it just finds a way to make it happen. Anytime you got really good at something, you focus and defocus. Going to the gym even. You work out and then you rest. When you rest, your muscles grow. When you even study, maybe you're persisting on a problem, a math problem that you've been doing for a while, and it just doesn't get solved. But then you just, I'm going to forget about this. I'm going to go eat something. By the time you come back, you're like, wait, how did I not see this before? This is it. This is the answer. Take one last question. Same ones are coming up. Okay, I'll take this one. All right, I'll take 2. I was going to answer another one, but this one just came up. How do you even build up faith or belief in yourself to even keep pushing? If you want to build up belief, look at proof of other people achieving what it is you are wanting to achieve. If you want to build up faith, start to believe in the impossible. Start to look at miracles that keep happening. If that can happen, why can't this? That's belief, right? Like faith just truly is a place of you being so in line. Your whole soul, your whole heart is so in line with this. Like, I really want this. You know what? Somehow we're going to make it happen. That's what faith is. But there's no like training it. It's just like it is. I'm going to go to one more question. I forgot. This is the one. Hi, Quazi. There is this fad on hustle culture and working all day. Is hard work the answer? Is there proof of someone who has done it without hard work? Yeah, me. I don't work hard at all. I really don't. It looks like I work hard, but I don't feel like I work hard. Because if you're in alignment, it doesn't feel like hard work. What you call hard work is only hard work because you don't enjoy it. If your work becomes play, then you're playing all day. right? It's like, imagine playing video games and doing what you love every single day. Just find a way to get into that state. Within you, get clear on what you really want and find ways to move to that. Go to that door, as opposed to doing something that you don't want to do. As quickly as you can, try to find a way to get to what it is you really want to do. Just get one foot in, and then to get another foot in, until you fully become immersed in this. And then your life will be a play every single day. And hard work, hustle culture will fall apart. All right, guys, I hope this was helpful. There were a lot of questions about how you can, join the program, and questions about the program as well. I'm going to tell you how to do that, but I really do hope this was helpful. Let me know if it was. I might do another one close by in the future, but I've just been working on a lot of different projects. I wanted to do something different for you guys. So yeah, I do hope this was helpful. For those of you who are wanting to sign up for the program, like I said, we don't work with everyone. We only work with entrepreneurs who want to grow their businesses, and they've seen that they try all of the different things, right? The tactics and strategies, but again, it's an internal problem. And we have people who have gone from 5K a month to 100 grand a month, like Bastian, Trey. Trey went from doing 10K a month to doing 50, 60. I think he's at 60K a month now. I'm not sure. But yeah, a lot of people who are just crushing it, but they just see the value of internal, finding clarity. And once they're correctly aligned, then the right opportunities that were under their noses, they start to show up. Like, oh, this is what I needed to do. But you have to get the foundations first, right? So if you're an entrepreneur, you want to scale up your business, and you see that problem isn't a tactic or a strategy, you have all of those. It's just mindset. It's just internal. And you really want to get an edge, then I ask you, this is the best way to do it. Work on your mindset, work on yourself. Be consistent internally. Your business is going to be consistent. So how you apply is, I'll make it real simple for you. Go to realitycreator.com/apply. Okay, realitycreator.com/apply. It's going to be this quick survey. Just fill it up. It gives us a little bit more information about what we're working with, helps us understand your situation better. Then someone will take a call with you, and we'll actually do a game plan with you and see if we can help you get to your goal. We'll set a goal together, and if it's a fit, then we can work together. I'm telling you guys, I'm shamelessly pitching here. I am, but the best way I've grown, and on my channel, I love to share only what's worked for me. The best way I've grown is to actually work with mentors, in programs, and I only work with those who have achieved what I want to achieve. Okay, and that's what's helped me. So that's what I want to be available for you. So yeah, thank you for coming to this live stream. I'm gonna look at the comments one more time. Perfect. Glad it was helpful. And yeah, I'll keep posting on the channel. I'll see you there.